Presents. If you've been with us before, welcome to Leanne Presents. If it's your first time with us, I'm Leanne, I'm your host for this video, and I'm joined by Alan, my co-host. Welcome. As you've seen from the title card, we're here today with our reactions to the AEW pay-per-view Revolution, which took place on the weekend, and we've now watched it, and we're ready. We made it, we're here.
I really wish they wouldn't put these on Sundays anyway.
It's so annoying.
It's like AEW started doing it on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. WWE starts following on Saturday. And now all of a sudden AEW's like, hey, let's do Sundays. No, don't. It's people in Britain have work
on
a Monday morning and we get spoilers.
It's angry.
It's just annoying.
Yeah. So this is a packed pay-per-view. We have posted our predictions previously, so if you fancy checking them out, we'll put a link somewhere on the screen so you can go watch them. And as always for our reactions, if you haven't seen the pay-per-view, you might want to watch it first because this is spoiler heavy. Very spoiler heavy. Watch out. Cool. So there was a match added to 0 Hour, which is the pre-show for AEW's pay-per-views. So we did watch most of the pre-show, skipping through the recap bits since we've watched it all recently anyway.
Kind of wish we skipped through that RJ City bits as well.
RJ City was very annoying. We're like, who on earth is this guy? Turns out he's a wrestler.
An actor.
He's very annoying. If he's an actor, then I'm a butcher. Not good. Not good. Kind of. His reactions were all over
I mean,
the
we'll
top
see within time whether you've butchered your predictions or not.
Oh, I probably have, definitely. So the match on 0 Hour, we had Mark Briscoe, Penta El Zero, Miedo, and Rey Fenix versus the Varsity athletes Josh Woods, Ari Daivari, and Tony Nese.
Yeah. Well, it's the Varsity athletes are Tony Nese and Josh Woods.
They introduced them all as... I don't know.
Ari Daivari was separate.
Fine. I don't know. They introduced them all together, so that's how I put it down. I missed most of this match because I was doing socials for other videos on the channel. So over to you.
What, do you not see any of the match?
I don't remember any of it because I told you at the time you'll have to go over this because I have not got anything.
So, well, the intro, it wasn't the usual ring guy. It was Mark Sterling introducing the Varsity athletes and Ari Daivari.
That's right. He interrupted.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It felt quite Paul Heyman-y.
Yeah, really.
In a sense,
grandiose kind of.
Yeah, which is kind of cool, and I think that's a good way for them to go.
Yeah.
I don't not like these guys. I don't like these guys, but it's not bad to have this sort of thing there. I did notice that out of the 6 guys in the match, 5 of them were wearing gold. Oh,
yeah. Interesting.
I think it was just Mark Briscoe who wasn't. And it's good to see Mark Briscoe on an AEW pay-per-view.
Yes.
Warner fought hard to keep Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe off of Dynamite, and obviously Jay Briscoe passed. And they kind of went, okay, we'll let Mark Briscoe on, and then they had a bit of a tribute thing to Jay Briscoe, which was really nice, and it's nice of them to pull that stick out their ass. People change. 10 years ago, you made some comments. People change.
Exactly.
Look at James Gunn with Disney. They fired him over something he did 10 years ago. Just a simple tweet. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Are we really in that kind of thing where one person says one thing wrong and you got to cancel them?
Give people a chance. Sometimes don't give people a chance, but for tweets, give people a chance. Come on.
It was a chaotic match. It was a good match. I really enjoyed this one. It was kind of... It didn't have much slowdown. There was a couple of spots which weren't botched, but were kind of like, oh, okay, that didn't quite go as planned. But it was good all around. And we did add our predictions in. I can't remember I think it was the frog splash that Jay hit, or the elbow, or Mark rather, hit, and that was the finish if I remember rightly. And in our predictions, we did predict that the team of the Lucha Bros and Mark Briscoe would win, and they did.
1 point. Got it right. Okay, so then we go into the main show. And the first thing really to note about the pay-per-view itself is how little filler there was. Very little. There was just match after match after match.
Yeah, like, I think the person who wins the TNT title match is just about to walk out, and the next team at next match after the tag team titles, and they just start hitting the music, and it's like,
It really made
whoa,
the
at
most of
least
time.
let them get out of the entrance way first, and jeez.
It was good. I quite liked it. It felt very like a properly
it was 4
packed
hours
show.
long, but it didn't really feel 4 hours.
No, it didn't.
Like compared to the last few, which have been 5 or 6, whatever it is, because of the amount of matches.
Yeah, that was great. So the first match that we had is Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks with JAS banned from ringside.
Well, the thing was everyone's banned from
Everyone's
ringside,
banned
but yeah.
from ringside. Everyone. I found this quite slow.
Well, Jericho's getting on a bit.
Yeah.
And Ricky Starks isn't exactly a high flyer.
I feel like Jericho might need to think about hanging up the boots.
Really? I thought he looked strong.
I have written controversial opinion, so here we go.
Oh, God, you
just to start with, I love Jericho. He's amazing. He's great.
Only because he held your hand.
Because he held my hand, obviously. It does feel like he has, maybe since he had health problems recently, he slowed down, and some moves look a bit clumsy. And when he's up against someone like Ricky Starks, who moves so fast, that contrast is quite clear. It felt like quite clear to me, anyway, that he just looked more like being very deliberate and careful, but not like in a strategic way, more of a doesn't want to gas himself kind of way.
But that's like saying, putting someone like Ray Fenix in the ring with someone like Satnam Singh. Satnam Singh isn't going to start doing high flippy moves.
But that's not what it would like. It
But
doesn't feel like he's got what he used to have.
Well, he is over 50. He is 50 odd, but I don't think he's to the point where he needs to hang it up.
I didn't say now.
No, I know. It's
on the way.
And bear in mind, this could be part of the storyline.
Maybe.
He's had like 3 or 4 losses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not had 3 or 4 losses in a row for like 6 years. So this could be part of a storyline.
Could be. Maybe it is leading up to his retirement. I don't know. Yeah, that's my opinion. And you just stamped all over it.
Because you're entitled to opinion, but I'm entitled to mine. I don't think you're right. I think Jericho looks strong. I think he did a good job in this match.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, he does pull off some great moves, to be fair. He can still take a bump. I did put that in my notes as well.
And he was in control for most of the match.
I sort of made me nervous that he could soon get to a point where it's difficult to watch, or when some wrestlers do carry on too long, and then it's just like
Ric Flair.
Yeah. I just wanted to stop while he's stop before it gets to that point, That's just what I think.
And Jericho will hang it up before he gets to Ric Flair.
I'm sure
like that was just abysmal.
But like overall, it was a great match, and Ricky Starks is a huge talent.
Yeah,
for sure. There was a moment where he took out Jericho with a spear and ended up sort of in the corner, and he obviously saw that there was an opportunity to get the pin, so he ran / dove to get the pin, and then it looked like he was running horizontally.
I think it was the spear you said that about.
No, it was after the spear.
Okay.
After the spear, he ended up in the corner, and he sort of ran, but still like almost.
So I think you were sort of like, did he just run horizontally across the ring? It's like.
Yeah, it looked like it.
I mean, we were anticipating a replay, but we didn't get it.
No.
But I'm pretty sure it was off the spear you said.
No, it literally wasn't.
Why would they recap someone going for a pin? They would have recapped the spear.
You might have been on about the spear. I was on about the going for the cover.
Maybe you should be a bit more clear on what you're saying.
Maybe you shouldn't assume. Just stamping all over my stuff again. Maybe I'll just let you finish the video.
Thanks for watching. This has been...
So, although we have everyone down from ringside, we do then have Sammy Guevara running in. Although he's sort of obviously making a show of it. I think his tongue is hanging out and he's like, arms are flapping everywhere and he's running quite slowly towards the ring. It's a bit weird. But it's clearly to make a show of it.
I think it's more like, oh, look, Starks, I'm here, look. Trying to get his attention, maybe.
Yeah. But then Action Andretti tackles him down on the ramp.
Come out of nowhere.
But it does then allow a referee distraction so Jericho can get Floyd and hit Starks with it. But doesn't get the pin.
Nope.
Not on that. Yeah, it was pretty good. A good way of using distraction, but it was sort of brief enough that it wasn't one of these big spectacles of interference like you sometimes
Take away
have.
from the match.
Yeah. Then the finish, we've got, Jericho tries to get the Walls of Jericho on Ricky, but it's blocked. Ricky hits the Rochambeau and pins him to win.
You did miss out the Ricky Starks blocked the Judas effect as well.
Well, I can't say everything, or the video would be so
That was bigger than blocking the
long.
Walls of Jericho.
Well, that was because it was part of the finish.
What's it? Nobody's blocked the Walls of Jericho.
Yeah?
Not the Walls of Jericho, the Judas effect.
Well, that's where you can come in with your
and that's
comments.
what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying.
It's not me missing something. It's
I think she's a bit testy today, guys.
I just got in from work, alright? Just because I miss one move.
I'm just saying, that was a bigger thing than countering the Walls of Jericho. Everyone's counted the Walls of Jericho at some point, but the Judas effect is quite a relatively new move and no one's blocked it like that. And Ricky's just like, nope.
Yeah, I don't have all that knowledge to have that context to be able to get it in the moment, but I mean, as long as you're not saying I'm missing stuff, it's not my fault. Anyway, that was the match. Thanks.
We both predicted Starks to win, and we both got that right.
Whoop whoop. It was a good match.
It was a good start to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, sort of starting to ramp that energy up at the low, well, not at a low level, but you got to start somewhere. It's good. Next match, Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Christian Cage in the final burial casket match.
Oh, you're going to get us fired or cancelled.
It's alright, because we're not employed by anyone, so we can say what we want.
Well,
within reason.
Yeah, well.
Yes, this is essentially a casket match. I think it was pretty unclear what it was going to be in the lead.
I think I'd probably say it's more of a casket match crossed with a buried alive match, because the casket's usually right at ringside with a casket match.
True.
Whereas a buried alive, you've got the mound usually up by the entrance. So it kind of felt like a mix between the two.
Yeah, that's pretty
cool.
Which
I guess is why they call it the final burial, because it's buried alive, but using a casket, which is the final journey you take, and yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, it was quite unclear what this match was going to be leading up until you were literally there and they were like, here is the casket.
Yeah, I think it was the pre-show in the 0 hour, Tony Schiavone was like, these are the rules. It's like, oh, finally.
Finally, we know what they're actually doing.
Jesus.
Because we had Jungle Boy, like, digging graves and stuff. Like, is it going to be a buried alive match?
Because originally No Holds Barred.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it just naturally evolved due to the promos and stuff. It's a nice casket, though. Very nice. And it was a great match.
It was,
Very
yeah.
enjoyable.
I enjoyed this.
We did have quite at the start. Can't speak. Jungle Boy had the upper hand right from the start.
He just come around. They gave just going for it.
He angry. So Christian decided to just leave, but then Jack Perry catches up with him, and they fight a bit in the crowd.
He kind of turns and he's like, realizes he's going up the ramp to the casket.
Yeah, that's
Christian,
after.
And he's
He
like,
went in the crowd
was
first,
it?
and then they got
that's
back,
right,
and he's like, "No,
that's
fine,
right.
I'm going this way."
That's right.
And I was there saying, "He's going right towards the casket.
Yeah.
That's a stupid idea." And then you could see in his face, like,
He's like, oh, back away.
back away. So that was quite a fun touch. Blah 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 blah.
I don't think Christian gets enough recognition.
No, he's good. This isn't one of my signs of the pay-per-view, but there was a sign that just said "Where is Edge" that was only held up for this match. I'm like, oh, come on. He's his own man too.
Yeah. Vince doesn't like Christian, he never did.
No.
So.
That's sad. We did have a pretty ouch moment with Christian standing on Jack Perry's hair and then pulling his arms up. So he's like wrenching his neck and pulling at the follicles and
I don't know much hair actually come out with that.
Yeah, he didn't see any. I feel like he was probably going to start bleeding from the scalp at that
I think
rate.
because Jungle Boy's hair's so thick, it might not have shown. It might have just stuck in.
And they probably wasn't pulling very hard, really.
Yeah. He made it look
good. They end up wrestling up to the casket. There's some pretty close moments with getting almost shut in. They're using, because the casket's there and it's surrounded by just piles of dirt. or I guess a layer of dirt.
Yeah.
And then there's a shovel there,
It's,
so...
Maybe an inch or two
Yeah.
of dirt.
So you get handfuls of dirt being thrown into eyes and the shovel being...
The commentator's like, that's a schoolyard tactic.
Yeah, and you're not
like,
wrong.
oh, really?
Good. But in the end, you've got Jack Perry wearing Christian out with a snare trap, but using the handle of the shovel in the mouth, the like shaft. Shaft.
Yeah.
Because the handle's a bit hard. The shaft is the length of it.
It wasn't just a wooden handle though. I think
it had a shovel on it.
Yeah. What I mean is the entire thing. Yeah. So I mean just the wooden part.
That's a rubbish shovel if it doesn't have a handle at the top. It doesn't matter. We're going into semantics. So he does that, and then he hits a concerto, sort of, but he's got the setup wrong.
Chair was the wrong way around.
But that's fine.
It looked good. It sounded good.
Yeah, it worked. Hopefully didn't make contact. I think if he'd made contact properly, we'd have heard about it by now. Because it's a bit worrying because you were saying the chair's set up, you've usually got the head, and then like you hit the head with it.
Yeah.
But this had the legs, so he was hitting the ground basically. So it's a lot closer to Christian's head.
If he goes at a steep enough angle, he should have been alright. So
hope so. I'm sure it's fine. We'd have known about it. But then after that, he drags Christian into the casket, kisses him on the forehead,
which is
very
weird.
tenderly,
yeah.
And I'm just yelling, "Just close the lid already! He's gonna get up!" But then he closes the lid with a great bang, and the whole casket just falls into a grave.
Hell.
Yeah.
Where really Christian deserves to go.
Very good visual. Might have been better with smoke, but it might have been a bit too gimmicky. Don't know.
Yeah. A bit too Undertakery.
Yeah, probably. So Jungle Boy wins. I need to get into the habit of calling him Jack Perry, because they are leaning more towards that than the Jungle Boy now. The Jungle Boy's like in the inverted commas.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it.
I can't remember if it was in the ring or on the ramp, but one thing I did say and I wrote down was Jungle Boy or Jack Perry needs to start wearing a cup. Especially when fighting Christian. Why don't you learn? How many shots to the lower regions do you need to take before you wear something, especially in a match like this, to prevent Christian from doing that to you?
Just like make it part of the storyline that you're learning, right? Easy. Yeah, so that's that one.
We predicted Jungle Boy to win. Sorry, Jack Perry to win. We got that right.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, okay. On to a strong start.
3 for 3.
Oh, talking about a strong start. Next.
Oh, God.
The Elite versus the House of Black.
4.
Why didn't I write it down? It's the tag team trios championship. I don't know. I wrote all the other ones down, okay? It's the trios,
we'll see as we go along.
It's the trios championship one.
Yeah.
Which is currently, well, at this before recording, held by the Elite, but it's in the possession of the House of Black.
No, they did give
it back, didn't they?
Yeah. I covered this in the predictions that they kind of went, these are not ours, but come Sunday they will be, and they laid them down.
My memories.
So yeah, the Elite do come out with the belts.
That my memory is terrible. Now you know. House of Black's entrance. Very cool. Very intimidating.
Julia's got a new mask. She's got a new veil. She looks amazing.
She looks great.
Yeah.
It's like got a sort of blank face mask, I think. So
it's like all black.
Featureless. Creepy. I like it.
Looks awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've always got a great entrance. How could they not? I've written here, there's no keeping up with this match, play by play, or describing those key moments, because the entire match is a continuous string of key moments.
Yeah.
It's like, if I look down to write many notes, I'd have missed tons.
Do you need to start just dictation?
I have to. Just like, I'll do my own play-by-play commentary while it's
into your phone, like, just add.
That'd be terrible. No, thank you. But it was incredible. The amount of kicks flying around and people getting chucked, and I mean, all three of the House of Black members have very different they have different styles, different strengths.
Yeah.
And you get to see it all.
And I think I made a comment at one point that if you're the Elite, the one person you want to keep in the ring is Buddy Matthews. Because he's not, how can I put this? He's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but he's probably the least lethal of the House of Black. Brody King's massive. Malachi's got those long legs and he can just kick you from anywhere. But he doesn't really have a shtick.
No. I think the words I remember you using were he's the most manageable of the three.
Yes, because you were like, he's the weakest link. I said, well, that's not necessarily what I was going
that's
for.
That's implying that there is a weak link.
Yeah. I think Buddy's more manageable than the other two. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But which one of the elite would they want to keep in?
Not Kenny.
One of the Bucks on their own.
Yeah,
probably.
one of the Bucks.
Either one.
Not Kenny.
Isolated.
Not Kenny.
No. And the Bucks together, you can't beat. So.
Yeah, you'd have to isolate one of them.
Yeah.
I think Matt is the youngest. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100%.
I can't remember which is which.
But yeah, probably that one. I guess.
It's good. There was ton of key moments. With
I already know where this is going.
Kenny trying to V-trigger, I think Malachi.
Is Malachi, yeah.
On the ropes.
Yeah.
But standing right behind Malachi is Julia Hart.
Yeah.
And she eats that V-trigger.
Like a champ.
Like
a boss.
And obviously
you go,
that
girl.
Distracts Kenny, or at least holds his attention for a second.
He kind of shrugs it off. He's like, eh.
But that leads to him eating a black mass.
Yeah.
That's a great sequence, though. It was great. the usual thing if a wrestler accidentally hits the woman on the side is, oh no, are they okay? What have I done? And then it leads to stuff. But Kenny just be like, meh.
She was on the apron.
She's one of the enemy.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on the apron or in the ring, it's your own damn fault.
Yeah, you're getting yourself involved. So.
And that shows Kenny's sort of not cold-heartedness, because that's not the right... It's his experience, his in-ring knowledge. Yeah. It's what he knows.
Yeah.
Like, if someone's in the ring, they're clearly putting themselves in that firing line. So if they eat a bullet, then that's on them.
It's their own risk, isn't it?
Pun intended.
Yeah. Do you have any other bits that you wanted to highlight in this match before the finish?
Everything?
That's all I highlight. If you haven't watched this event and you want to watch one match, go watch this match.
Just that Dante's Inferno. I can't remember who hits it on first because there's a couple of them in this match, but damn, that move is just painful.
And that is the finishing move in this.
Yeah.
Brody King.
Which I was surprised
Dante's
about,
Inferno on Matt Jackson. We think it was Matt Jackson.
I'm pretty sure it was Matt.
Pretty sure it was Matt Jackson.
I thought Malachi would have got it with Black Mass, but I'm glad they gave it to Brody.
Yeah, it gives him a bit more of a...
and it shows
the spotlight out a bit.
And it shows Malachi's not an egotist.
Yes.
And he's not. He's absolutely. From what I've heard, he's a lovely man.
I think so. I want to meet him.
Yeah, same. I'm not biased.
Always biased. So Brody King gets the pin.
Yeah.
And House of Black win and are the new trios champions.
Yep. I should have put a bet on that because the Elite were the favourites to win.
Oh.
We predicted House of Black to win. So we got that one right.
We're doing good. Doing good. Okay.
Spoiler alert, there comes a turning point for one of us.
I think you can probably guess which one. Next match. Saraya. Is it Saraya? Saraya versus Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho for the AEW Women's World Championship. It's alright. It's okay.
Jamie's gear was very bright. Like orange and pink, and it's like, why do you look like you get pick and mix? It looks like a fluffy marshmallow sweet, doesn't it? Like with the colours, I mean. Or like a licorice all sort. Yeah. No, not the all sorts, like the Bass's all sorts, and they've got the colours with the, yeah, you know what I'm about.
I know, yeah, the colourful, she looks like a colourful candy.
She looks like an all sort.
Takes all sorts.
Wee.
Okay. I know Saraya annoys you very much.
Yes.
And she was pretty annoying in this match. There was one weird moment where there was three of them in the ring, sort of hitting each other back and forth. And then Saraya just yells, "Stop!"
Oh, yeah.
And then she says, "Stop!"
Yeah, so I think they were ping-ponging her back and forth.
I think so. "Stop. Ah!" And then they both just hit her again. Like, but with a pause in between each. Yeah. The stop, pause, ah, pause, then hits. It made no sense. I was so confused about what was meant to be happening there.
This isn't AEW, baby girl.
they stop and look at her, and she just like puts her head in her hands and screams randomly, but not like a real scream. She just said "ow" very loudly.
Yeah, it was like "ow" kind of.
And like, what are you doing? And then of course they were like pounding on her again. I felt like this match, there was a lot of, because when you got 3 people, it's quite a challenge probably to keep it all moving and not have someone looking like they're just waiting for their turn to come up. There were a few moments in this where I felt like someone just looked like they were waiting for their turn. Especially there was a point, they were all in the ring and they were sort of pairing off briefly, and then another pair briefly, and then another pair briefly. And it was switching so much, and then the person left was just sort of waiting. It didn't look like they were recovering, it just looked like they were waiting.
See, the smart thing for Saraya to have done, because she is the heel, of just gone, take a bit of a beating, and then go, roll to the outside, and then go, have at it.
Yeah.
That would have been the smart thing to do.
Wear each other down, and then get in there when the opportunity strikes.
But she's been wrestling since she was, like, in the womb, Leanne, so she must be that good. But clearly, she ain't worth jack.
Yeah.
God, she's so overrated.
What have we got? Okay. Yeah, I just got to the finish then.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got anything extra to say.
No.
So, Jamie Hayter pins Ruby Soho with a crucifix pin. It happened quite quickly.
It did, yeah, it did. Mm-hmm.
But I guess with the pace of the match, it makes sense for the finish to come quite suddenly.
Yeah.
So Jamie Hayter wins and retains, and straight afterwards is attacked by Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Then you have Ruby Soho coming in to save Jamie Hayter, and Britt Baker, who also got in to try and help. And then Ruby turns on them and joins Saraya and Toni, which I was disappointed about. Didn't like that.
I think it's probably because the fans actually give a damn about Ruby, whereas nobody really cares about Toni Storm and Saraya.
So they're trying to put her...
So they need to put someone in there for the fans to get behind, or at least behind hating.
Just feels like it doesn't make sense with the character.
Well...
I think they were saying because she's original, that's what they were going with, wasn't it?
Well, the originals are Britt Baker and Jimmy Hayes. They've been there for pretty much since the start. Ruby Soho hasn't.
No.
But she's been there longer than Toni Storm and Saraya. So she's not quite this new generation, because I don't quite know what they're calling them.
She's sort of
and she's not an original. She's in the middle, so she has to pick a side, I guess.
She chose the wrong side.
It feels like the originals maybe were going, well, you're not one of us. So where do you go then? Well, I might as well side with the people who...
No, stand on your own. You got this, Ruby. Be your own woman. It's alright. It's okay. It wasn't awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do we do predictions?
We predicted Jamie Hayter to win, and we both got that right. On a
roll.
roll.
Wait.
Clean sweep so far.
Whew. Things will change. Next up. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match.
I expect you to go, in a Texas death.
In a Texas death.
Match. So, in the predictions, I just got to preface this quickly. The rules for Texas death match state, you need to pin someone, and then they have the count of 10. That's clearly not what they were doing in this match.
No, this was a last man standing match.
And I think, on my notes, what have I got?
With barbed wire.
What are the rules? What are the bloody rules?
It wasn't clear at all. They didn't say what the rules were. And then every time the ref started counting, like, what's he counting for now?
Yeah.
So, because some of the time they were outside, it's like, oh, he's going for a count out. And then...
But anything goes, so why would they have countouts?
So it's very confusing. But
then nobody was going for a pinfall, but then he would ask if they wanted to submit. And it's like, oh, for God's sake, what the hell?
So it's a last man standing match with barbed wire.
And submission.
And submission.
Yeah, because last man standing, you can only win by not answering the count of 10. See? This is where it's confusing.
That makes sense. Texas Death. It's not a Texas Death match. It's just a Texas Death. And this is the rules for Texas Death, which are different to a Texas Death match.
Apparently so.
There we go. We solved it. So I did start writing I've said what they used, but I'm not going to, like, reel them off.
Thank God for that.
The first thing, obviously, is barbed wire, though.
Yeah.
They had to get that in early.
Yeah.
And immediately Moxley's head gets cut open. And then shortly after, Moxley produces a fork and gives Hangman a matching head wound. Almost exactly the same position on the forehead, it seemed. Oh, that was fun. It's like raking the thing in.
How brutal as well.
Yes. The whole match, brutal. I think there was a point where, was it Moxley cut too deep? Or was this something else? Am I thinking wrong? No. Okay, this is a later match. Ignore that. Ignore that. I'm thinking something else. No, Moxley knows how to blade.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
I wouldn't be surprised if you just opened up the cut that he previously had, because that would be the easiest way.
Definitely. It was already pretty fresh.
And it's already there, so you know where the scab is. So just...
Yeah, just open it up a bit. Why not? One interesting tool that was used that I don't think we see used very often was bricks.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw a pair of bricks. It's usually the cinder blocks, the big ones. But yeah, these were
they're sort of the size of
bricks.
House bricks. Probably lighter than house bricks, but
they were probably like rubber or something.
Yeah, I expect so. But there was
a dense rubber so it doesn't bounce.
There were some scary spots where it looked like they were gonna slam someone's back onto upright bricks. That was terrifying. It didn't end up happening, luckily.
Makes my back cringe. Like
there's certain things that that would be really, really bad.
Ouch, I think is the word I want to use. And
then we had the hand sandwich. Oh, for God's sake. I've been excited about seeing that since watching it. One brick, Hangman's hand, another brick, and then stamp on it. Hand sandwich.
Hanged hand sandwich?
Have you even written it? Hammed sandwich.
Oh my God.
I liked it. I thought you'd enjoy that. Ham sandwich. Yes, bricks. There were chairs as well. Chairs wrapped in barbed wire. Boards wrapped in barbed wire.
Laying some foundations.
So yeah, it was crazy. And a big old chain.
Oh, that chain was big, yeah.
It was a really big old chain. So yeah, lots of tools.
And they managed to pull it back, because the end of that, like, not to give the ending away yet, but there's a point where the chain came into play at the end, and it looked like it wasn't taut enough.
Yeah.
Hangman compensated so well with that and made it look great.
Yeah. I mean, both these guys. I mean, it was sort of. Hang on. I'm just trying to think.
I suppose we didn't see any tax.
Yeah, no tax, no glass.
About it. But then tax seems to be Darby Allin's thing.
Yeah. So they didn't want to use it. I guess once you've got forks and bricks, you don't need much else.
And barbed wire. And chairs.
And chains.
And planks of wood with barbed wire and chains and bricks.
It should have had bricks wrapped in barbed wire. That's the next step.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, okay. Anything we want to highlight before we get to the finish?
Nope.
Just
it was full edge of your seat all the way through.
It really was. Just the pain that...
Was it with Hangman went to... He was on the top rope to do something and he got shoved off and he went through the barbed wire board and he practically only hit it with his head.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh...
Yeah, it mostly missed. It's nasty.
Ouch.
So we end up with Moxley with the big chain sort of draped around his neck.
He kind of puts it around his own neck, which is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was a little bit like, I think it was probably supposed to get there naturally, but it didn't quite work. So he was sort of like getting it around him sort of thing. And then he is hit with a lariat and ends up sort of on the outside, like over the top. And then Hangman gets the chain, which is round his neck. And then
he hangs him.
He hangs him?
He's the hangman.
So Moxley taps, obviously, because he doesn't want to die for real.
But that chain got a bit loose. You could see it like threading out, and it was like Hangman was like, and he managed to grab it in a certain way and then put his foot against the ropes or something, and he kind of just leaned back and he's like, okay, okay, cool.
It's that kind of makes it look more like natural rather than intended, if that makes sense. Yeah. So you had Moxley putting it around his own neck, but clearly his intention wasn't to be hanged by it, or he'd have done it better. Right? But yeah, like you say, Hangman pulled it back and made it look great.
No, he did a good job of
that. Really good match. I mean, can't say a bad word about these guys.
Yeah. Like Hangman, when he was world champ, was not over.
Yeah.
He didn't have a great title run. I'm not quite sure whose fault that was, if it was Hangman's or the way he was booked, I don't know. But he's really making a good comeback since the injury he had with Moxley, and he's doing well. He's doing good. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, definitely. So Hangman won.
Yep, we predicted Hangman to win, and we both got that right.
Still doing it. Still winning. All right, next. Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship.
She's not using the King of Television moniker, clearly.
I can if you want.
Too
Should
late.
I start again?
No, too late.
So the TNT Championship. I haven't written very much. It wasn't a super long match.
No.
It was great. Both these guys are super strong. I have put it. There were parts of the match where it felt like Samoa Joe trying to teach a lesson to Wardlow, who is too stubborn to learn the lesson. It's like
I'm your daddy now. You will learn from me.
Trying to take him to school, and Wardlow's like, nope. It's then kicking out. But I think that dynamic kind of works, especially with like their ages. Because Samoa Joe's a vet.
Yes. He's well in his 40s.
Yeah. So having that sort of acting like he's showing him how it's done, and then Wardlow, who is younger, but he knows what he's doing. He's been around. He's like, you can't teach me nothing. I know everything. Thanks. I thought it's pretty good. It works. Yeah. I haven't written a huge amount. Have you got anything to say?
Full intensity, bell to bell is all I've
Yeah.
got. I've got to come up with the ending, which I wasn't happy with, but
Yeah. The ending where Wardlow puts a dragon clutch on Joe, and Joe becomes unconscious.
yeah.
I've written stubbornness wins.
And it wasn't even after long. It was like maybe 5 to 8 seconds, and Joe's out, and it's like, really?
Much. There'd been other stuff before that probably weakened him, but
If Joe had gone up that quick, that means that was a chokehold, which means it's illegal.
Good point. But
Yeah, I didn't like that.
no. But regardless, Wardlow is the new TNT champion.
And this is where it starts changing. So I predicted Wardlow to win. Leanne predicted Samoa Joe to win. So I'm still on a hot streak.
Joe let me down. Curse you, Joe. But like you were saying in the predictions, you had very good reasoning for that. I wasn't aware of.
Joe's
for why
gonna.
Joe
I think
is
Joe's
probably
gonna
lose
back
the
to
belt.
Ring of Honor, and I think that'll probably. I don't want to say his career is coming to an end, because I don't think it is, but I think he will live out the rest of his wrestling days in Ring of Honor, and then maybe become an agent or something.
I think that works though. I think he could fit well there and sort of.
It's almost full circle.
Picking up the younger guys that come through there, but also having a great run himself. I think
and
it's
he's
a good fit.
still got the Ring of Honor TV Championship.
Yeah.
And there's a Ring of Honor event at the end of the month. It's the day before WrestleMania.
Oh, nice.
Is it Final Battle, or is it?
Oh.
No, it's not Final Battle. I can't remember what it's called.
It's a
there's a pay-per-view occurring at the end of the month.
Nice.
So
good stuff. All right, then we go to our least anticipated match of the card. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus the Guns versus the Acclaimed versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen for the AEW World Tag Team Championships.
Okay, Leanne. Everybody loves the Acclaimed.
We do. It's true. We do.
Gotta get the scissor ring in. Let me.
Oh no, I don't like that. No, thank you. This match, I haven't seen a huge amount of. I don't think many at all. 4-way tag team matches.
They don't do them very often.
You can kind of see why.
Well, you say
It's
that. They did one on
chaotic.
Rampage.
I haven't seen a huge done.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
one, kicking stuff. This one really made me consider the amount of strategy that goes into specifically being the holders of the championships going into this sort of match and having to retain it when it doesn't matter if you're even in the ring, you could lose it. So, but you don't want to be in the ring all the time or you get worn down and you're more likely to lose. So it's that balance between keeping the other teams going and fresh, but also being ready to get in there and take advantage.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's chaos, yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Guns are actually pretty good.
Yeah. They really kind of showed their worth in this.
Yeah. And it's a testament to their work being heels as well. because you want to think, oh, they're terrible, they're rubbish, but they're really good.
Yeah. I think it's because they obviously just seen like a joke with the Ass Boys chant, and obviously they Acclaimed rip on them quite a lot, and FTL rip on them a lot. And I think the whole turning on their father thing in the story is probably a good thing for them. Because they're distancing themselves from that.
Yeah.
Because obviously Billy Gunn, for anyone who doesn't know, Billy Gunn used to tag up with the Road Dogg Jesse James in WWF as the New Age Outlaws as a part of D-Generation X back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And they were a legendary tag team, but they were kind of like the Acclaimed of that generation, where they would come out and Road Dogg would be on the mic, oh, you didn't know, you better call, all that kind of stuff, and they'd not like rap or anything, but they
had their catchphrase.
Put people down, yeah. And I think they're trying to get away from that and make themselves seen as a serious team. And I think this went a long way to help them with that.
Yeah, it's always a challenge if having a wrestler who comes from a legacy to be able to stand on their own and just be their own person rather than, oh, they are the son of so and so. So it's I think breaking free from that. They had a good time like before working with him. Yeah. And now they can work against him, and then they can move to working separate from. So it's sort of working away. But they can always still be their dad. I think you mentioned as well they had signs on the seats, didn't they? Like,
yeah, I'll see if I can find an image of it. But it's something like, please, to the AEW fans in attendance, please stop chanting Ass Boys. It's becoming too distracting for the wrestlers in the ring. We are not Ass Boys, we are the Guns, it's something like that, and it's like, wait, they're actually from the Guns, not AEW men. That was brilliant.
I thought it was really fantastic. Funny. It was like giving suggestions of other things they could chant instead. Yeah, I
have to find that and I'll drop it somewhere.
Yeah, I like that very much.
That was funny as hell.
That was good.
Because I started reading that and I thought, hang on, is this an actual thing from Magic? And the bottom's like, thank you, the Guns, or something, and it's like, right, okay, I see.
And obviously that would have made them more likely to chant Ass Boys, because obviously. What have they got about this one? Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal obviously came down to the ring with Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt. Yeah. Satnam gets into the ring at one point, because why wouldn't it? He's massive.
It's no disqualification.
Exactly. But is taken down by a combination of Danhausen, Orange Cassidy, and Daddy Ass Billy Gunn. Just like one
that orange punch, like, damn, dude.
So how did he reach?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
That's where the most energy Orange Cassidy's exerted in his entire life.
Definitely.
And then Billy Gunn runs in with the Famouser, slams him down. It's like, oh my god.
He's out. That's how you take down a giant, I suppose.
With a Famouser.
He's
so big. 7'4".
At one point, Jeff Jarrett has the guitar that he's going to use on Max Caster. Yeah. But Max counters and gets the guitar. And then, something I didn't think I'd be saying, Aubrey messes up. She took the guitar off him, but there's no disqualifications. Why did she take the guitar?
Damn it, Aubrey.
Why? And because she took the guitar and then obviously turns her back to put it away, Jay Lethal comes in with the Golden Globe that was stolen weeks previous and hits Max Caster. Yeah. Thanks, Aubrey.
Good job, ref.
My favourite ref, and you're just messing everything up.
Bryce is better. Come on, Rimsburg.
So yeah,
Rimsburg for head ref.
But I mean, it makes for a good spot, right? you gotta have moments where you hate people, or you're not doing wrestling right. So for the finish, unless you've got anything to add first, I might get the name of this move wrong. The Guns hit 310 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma.
Oh, it's close. 310 to Yuma on Danhausen.
It's the name of a Western. One of the Guns has John Wayne, and I think it's Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
Tattooed on him.
So they're Western fans.
Yeah.
Never heard of it myself.
There was a remake not long ago. I say not long ago. I can't remember long ago. So it was a recent remake.
I would say I want to check it out, but I'm not into Westerns.
You don't know if you
It
try.
might be good. But yeah, they pin Danhausen to win. The Guns retain.
Yeah. So, in terms of predictions, just before we go on that, I actually thought this was better than I expected.
Yeah.
I thought this was actually a really good
There
match.
was some really good stuff happening. Good
so,
teamwork.
Leanne predicted the Acclaimed to win.
Yeah, wishful thinking,
I
guess.
predicted the Guns to win.
I've lost it.
So I'm still on a roll. No flies on me, baby. No flies on me, baby.
That's for another time.
No flies on me. Ew.
Well, Adam Cole may not be returning here, but you know who is? FTR.
Oh.
Out they come. The Guns are, I think, spinning some promo on how they're the best team, the best tag team.
They actually
FTR
mentioned
aren't the
FTR. They
best
mentioned
tag
FTR. They mentioned the Acclaimed. I can't remember what else they mentioned.
I can't remember. But yeah, they were pulling that promo, and then out come FTR, and they show the As Boys what's what.
Oh yeah, even though Dax got bust open.
Yeah, like
Jesus.
Somehow from being in the ring for like 2 minutes gets bust open.
Probably just got a bit overzealous and collided heads or something.
It's very exciting.
FTR going for the belts.
Whee! It's good. It's good to have them back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how long they've been gone for.
About 2 months.
I
think the last time we saw them was at the December Ring of Honor pay-per-view final battle.
Yeah.
Because when they lost the titles to the Briscoes.
Yeah, they deserved some time. It was good. Alright, so before we get to the main event, it's time for my main event.
Oh.
And signs of the pay-per-view. And signs of the pay-per-view. Play. No, it's not play. It's a
play. Pretend you're a bee or something, I don't know.
There were some pretty good signs. Some pretty good signs on this one. Some couldn't make out.
Stand.
Yeah, we should get a little stand for it. Nope, you have to hold it forever. Okay, so. My top 3 signs. In third place, and that's why this is coming before the main event, because it's related. It's a 2 first. There's 2 signs. The first one, Bryan Danielson is a 60-minute Ironman, because they do a 60-minute Ironman match. And then the second sign right next to it, MJF is a 60-minute Jackass. It's not particularly creative, but it's insulting MJF, and that makes everyone happy.
It probably would have been funnier to say MJF's a 60-second man.
Yeah. That would have been fun. Make fun of him. Next, in second place, Hayter. We love her.
Yeah, I did see that one. Yeah.
I don't know why people haven't done that before.
Yeah, I did see that one.
And then sign number 1, although would lose points for execution, is the sign in the front row that said "throw him here" and had a target on it.
Yeah.
It would have been better if they'd had the sign out while people were on the outside and throwing people into the barriers. But there we go.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good idea. So maybe they need to just work on it for next time.
I wasn't sure if you're going to go for that one at ringside. It's like, hey, hi, it's my birthday and all I want is... And then one side of the sign said a glass of Haterade. And the other sign said to taste Moxley's blood.
That's in special mentions.
Like, wow. Oh, is it? Okay.
Special mentions.
Whoops, I just stamped over our segment.
That's alright, that can be your favourite sign. And the other special mention I've got is, don't get it twisted, this is Britt Baker's house.
Yeah, you listen up, baby girl.
That would probably make it higher on the list for you then, wouldn't
Hell
it?
yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me for another episode of Leanne Signs of the Pay-Per-View. Leanne Signs of the Pay-Per-View. I think I need a new sign, it's getting real bad. And that takes us to... the main event, Bryan Danielson versus MJF for the AEW World Championship in a 60-minute Ironman match. Didn't feel like 60 minutes, actually. I was worried about this going into it. I thought it was going to feel really long and the pace wouldn't keep up, but they did a damn good job.
And as per her prediction, she did have a cup of tea.
I did. I had a cup of tea, a couple matches earlier.
I think it was just before Joe and Wardlow.
Got partway through one match and was like, after this one, it's cup of tea time. Could feel my attention start to waver and like, let's get on top of this now. So I did have my tea. Right. Entrance, yep. MJF. Played to the ring by, I don't even know what to call it. A string...
ensemble?
Ensemble, that's the one. I was like, it's not a string quartet, there's more than 4. It's not a string orchestra because that has more instruments.
Do you know what?
String band.
Do you know why that popped in my head?
Right.
Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was a part of that and
symphony.
Kiss when they did the symphony in Australia. Part of it was done with just the ensemble, and then the full orchestra comes out for the rest of the performance. So
string ensemble. They play his entrance music briefly, and then the main thing kicks in. Kind of, it's a bit like they were there so briefly. What was the point?
Yeah.
But it's a nice atmosphere. It's something different, and it's nice to have a bit of live music somehow. So it's good. He had the devil mask on, MJF, which is cool.
Dressed in white.
Looks good. Yes. I liked it. MJF is just really good. I love to hate him. I think that's the thing, isn't it? He's clearly so good at being a heel that no one knows if he's actually like that in real life. You can't tell.
I think I said the same thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's that much of a prick in real life.
He can't be, but how would we ever know? Even his parents get in on it. His girlfriends probably get in on it, and
Do you mean Zach's?
well, I don't know if he's got a new person. I didn't want to
I think
assume.
it's probably a bit soon, but
But in the past, they would have gotten in on it. So no one will ever know until probably after he's dead, and there's like memorial, like documentaries and things. The real MJF.
60 minutes.
Yeah, it was cool. It's just little tribute there to MJF.
An ESPN special.
Yeah. And of
All
course,
access to the devil.
Bryan Danielson, you can't deny that he's hugely talented. And now that he's out of some annoying character traits that he had previously, I think you can't not get behind him.
Yeah.
The fun moment near the start. Okay, they do a lot of grappling, which, if you're MJF, you don't want to get into grappling with Bryan Danielson.
Oh, hell no.
That's like his strength, his grappling and submission holds. He gets frustrated, wanders off into the crowd, making a scene.
I know where you're going with this.
Grabs a cup of water from some random woman, and then throws it over some random kid. And I'm there thinking, they've got to be in on it. You can't do that if they're in on it. But I don't think they were.
The mother was irate, apparently. So much so that they took him backstage and the kid got to meet his favourite stars and stuff. So
Yeah,
there's apparently a photo of him with House Hobbs, who's his favourite. So, but yeah, that was that's MJF though. You go to a wrestling show with MJF. You're sitting in front row. What do you expect?
Exactly.
Come over and pat you on the head and be like, "It's okay, champ. Don't you worry."
If you are near the aisle at a wrestling show and you're holding a drink and you see a heel coming into the crowd, put your damn drink down.
Well, someone did, was it Jungle Boy, I think, or Jack Perry did it with Christian earlier in the day, in the match.
With some guy's beer or
something.
He
poured it straight over Christian's head, and the guy was like, "Yeah!"
Most wrestling fans would be well up for it. Although the drinks probably cost a fortune, but that's fine.
They're probably too drunk to notice it.
Yeah, probably. There was felt like quite a long segment of just continuous roll-ups and just like they were just rolling around.
Yeah, it was a couple of minutes.
Which was quite
that
interesting.
Ref must have been like, Jesus Christ, cut it out.
They'd said before that even the ref has been training, because obviously it'll be like stamina, staying and keeping track for an hour. But I think he was just strengthening his hand, ready for all the pinfalls. But yeah, no pins there. Until we're about the 25-minute mark, and Danielson hits a Busaiku knee, I think that's what it's called, on MJF and pins for the first fall. 1 point. The clock was a bit weird.
I think it was a bit earlier than 25, actually. It's probably about 15.
I wrote down 25.
I don't know, because I've got a comment about the 25-minute mark starting to be a slow bit.
Oh. But
So
maybe I got it wrong, because the clock's counting down.
Wait. No, there's 25 minutes left. No mind, sorry.
Yeah, I had to like rethink some of my the times that I wrote down, because it was counting down. I was like, wait a minute, how many minutes have gone if that much is left? Blah, maths.
Yeah, you might be right.
So I think it was around 25. Then you have quite some quick stuff happening. at around 27 minutes, so not long after that, you have MJF landing a low blow on Danielson, which gives Danielson a point for disqualification.
Yeah.
But it allows MJF to get 2 very quick pins while he's recovering.
Like literally straight after. It's crazy.
Yeah, straight after. So we have the score at 2-2 at 27 minutes. Crazy. Oh, what does that say?
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, I know what it says. Next, there's quite a lot. At this point, you said there probably won't be any falls till the end now.
Yeah, I'd imagine there'd not be much to the end, yeah.
Because you'd think, like, you have it as a tie, and then it's really tense as it comes up to the end. They're both sort of really cautious, but also just trying to get one over on the other one and drive them down. We don't quite get to the end before there's another pin. It's about 42 minutes, so there's still almost 20 minutes left.
There's 22 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
MJF pile drives Danielson into the timekeeper's table, which has already been shattered. So it's like what's left of it. And pins him to win, drags him back in, I think.
I think so,
pins him to win. So it's 3-2 to MJF. I've just written a quote from MJF as they're fighting in the ring. You think you're the best in the world? You effing suck.
Yeah, that was so loud.
It was very loud. Oh, there's an F-bomb. And then at 49 minutes, Danielson gets a label lock on MJF, who taps. Then I've got the H2O chant. So MJF keeps going to under the ring to get bottles of water, and the commentators keep making a point of saying
Taz mainly, yeah.
Saying that, like, swell your mouth out and put it on your head, but don't swallow it, because I think it affects...
It'll probably make you a bit heavier, or make you potentially your stomach full and bouncing around and it's gonna...
But he kept drinking it, and then the crowd started chanting H2O, which was quite fun, I thought. Everyone likes the benefits of water. But I felt like weird they were drawing attention to it when it didn't seem to contribute to anything. He was just drinking water.
Well, on that last time, I thought he was going to spray it in Daniel's face.
Yeah.
In Bryan's face, but...
Maybe there was sort of a plan with it and it just didn't happen.
Maybe.
Don't know.
Maybe he just gets dehydrated quickly.
Yeah, maybe. Because it's usually the commentators will only draw attention to something if it's relevant. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. So the final 4 in the 60-minute time. There's a lot of sort of submission. Danielson has various things and he's doing stuff and MJF keeps getting out, but then there's a single leg crab and MJF is almost tapping. He almost taps and then the time runs out and then he taps, so it doesn't count. And they finish on a 3-3 draw. So the winner is declared as MJF.
Well, it's declared a draw, but because of the draw...
He retains, yeah, that's right. And the crowd boos.
Oh yeah, they were not happy.
And we've got the commentators carrying on as normal. It's like, well, he retains the championship. There we go, that's it. But you can also hear Tony Schiavone talking on the headset to someone. It's like, something's happening. And he comes down to the ring and they announce...
He's like, I will take great pleasure. I will go do that right now.
They announce that the match will continue as sudden death. So the next 4 is the winner. Which also means it's not it can't be like disqualification means that you still retain. If MJF gets disqualified, he loses it because that's sudden death works differently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes the next 4 is the champion rather than the next 4 wins the match.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
It takes away that champion's advantage.
Yeah. So there's moments where MJF has the belts and he's contemplating, and then Aubrey saying, if you use it, you lose
Bryce.
it.
It's Bryce Rosberg.
Oh, it's Bryce, sorry. I'm still got Aubrey in my head from when she messed up earlier.
Damn it, Aubrey. Look what you do into Leanne.
So, I guess we should say that while they think the match is over, there's doctors in the ring sort of treating both guys, because it's been 60 whole minutes of fun. And they're treating MJF with oxygen. So that's hanging out at ringside conveniently.
They had one for Bryan as well.
Yeah.
But he didn't use it. They had the ice packs.
So MJF ends up on the outside of the ring, just sort of sitting there, and gets the canister. Bryan Danielson crawls over to bring him back in and gets whacked in the head with the canister, and then has a labella lock applied, and is knocked out by the canister rather than the move, but it still counts because the ref didn't see it. So MJF wins.
Did miss the Dynamite Diamond ring coming out when the ref was taking the belt.
That's right.
Put the thing on his ring, and it's like, it's a massive thing.
It's huge.
And there was a point where he was on the floor or something, and the ref sees it, and he just reaches down, he grabs the ring off of MJF's finger, and MJF starts going nuts.
Yeah, so we didn't get to use it. Good. Exhilarating. Exhausting.
Yeah. This was better than I expected it to be.
For a 60-minute plus match, they did it right.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed.
You're always going to have a dipper on the middle because they need to take it a bit slow then. But it's... I don't know if that was a bit too long. Like maybe if they'd done it like a shorter one at 15 to 20 minutes and another one at 40, you'd probably space it out a bit better, I think. But
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was good.
Because it, I guess, picked up so intensely towards the end as well. It kind of made up for any slow moments in my mind. I very much enjoyed it. I hope that they don't do many of these. I hope it doesn't become a staple. It needs to be a very special and well thought out decision to put one of these on. But they did a great job. All power to them. Yep. And I enjoyed it.
Cool. In the predictions, you predicted Bryan Danielson to win. I predicted MJF to win.
I love that. We both had all of them right. Until that one point where I then got all of them wrong.
And we didn't know the order of the matches, so there's no way we could have. That's crazy how that worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so clean sweep.
Yeah, clean sweep for you. Well done. What a great show.
Yeah.
A pleasure to watch.
Favourite match?
Elite versus House of Black.
Is there any other answer?
No, there's no other answer.
There is absolutely not.
That is the one.
That is the best match of the night. Show stealers, all 6 of those people. 7 if you count Julia Hart as well, because I think she deserves that credit. Least favourite match?
Saraya, Jamie and Ruby.
See, I'm tied between that and Joe and Wardlow.
It was pretty close for me as well, to be honest.
Joe and Wardlow wasn't quite what I was expecting.
No, and you didn't like the finish
but
either.
I think given that I do like Joe and I prefer Wardlow to Saraya, I think I'm going to go for Saraya the match with her in. That sucks because I like Ruby Soho and I like Jimmy Hayter. So.
And that was the only women's match on this card.
Yes, it was.
Which is, come on guys.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't have the TBS title on there.
Yeah. It is a shame that the women's match is the least enjoyed one.
Yeah.
But what can you do? That's just the way it falls sometimes.
Yep.
But more women's wrestling. Come on, guys.
Yep.
We've been through this before. Give them a spotlight.
Cool. Okay. Any other things you want to say about this pay-per-view?
I don't think so. Can't wait for the next one. Let's go.
Next one's in September. Sunday, May 28th, and it's Double or Nothing. It's happening in Las Vegas. Stop putting them on a bloody Sunday, Tony Khan, please. Thank you.
It's very annoying.
There is a rumour, I don't know if this is going to be true, that the All Out pay-per-view, which happens on a Sunday, might be the one they bring to London.
Ooh.
That's only a rumour. There's no substantial evidence for it, but it's come from somewhere.
You need to let us know. I feel like it's getting too close to things.
It's only March.
That's like a third of the way through quarter of the way through the year. I don't know.
Well, the end of March will be. What's our next wrestling video, Leanne?
WrestleMania!
Yep.
Predictions for the Saturday. We'll do separate ones again, because otherwise we'll have long videos.
As long as we've got the day split, otherwise I'll figure out something to split into 2.
Yeah.
They usually do say night 1, night 2, so...
either way, both the predictions will be out before the first night of WrestleMania, so even if we have them slightly in the wrong ones or whatever, it's not going to be a detriment.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us, even though it's like a couple of days after the event. You know the reasons why, and we appreciate you sticking with us anyway. We do what we can. We try our best to get that content to you. So please like the video if you liked it. We'd really appreciate all your likes and your subscriptions and all that stuff. It really helps us to boost our page and our channel and get some reach. We like reach. Yes, comment. Let us know if you had a different opinion on favourite or least favourite match on this card, I'd be interested to know if any weirdos out there didn't find the House of Black match the best one. Follow us on socials. Our link tree's in the description below. That'll take you to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also has links to our most recent videos in various categories. I think that's it. Anything else?
Nope.
Cool. So until next time,
don't stumble on the road to WrestleMania.
Don't stumble on road to point to sign. Bye.